welcome to You Beautiful Creation. I'm Tina Jackson, and with me today I have some special guests from the Freedom Center with me. They are part of their own organization, and we have Tammy with Clara's Hope, and we have Jennifer with the Food Pantry Baby Closet, and we will talk a little bit more about what each one does. But first of all, Tammy, I'd like to start with you.
Okay.
And please inform the viewers of what does Clara's Hope do, and what is it all about, and how can they get connected?
Oh, those are great questions. First of all, I need to back up a little bit and tell you who Clara is. Clara is my youngest daughter. She was here on earth for 8 months and 8 days. We adopted her knowing that she had a life-limiting condition. She was born with a condition called hydranencephaly, which basically means instead of a brain, she had 2 fluid-filled sacs. Don't let that make you think she didn't live a full life. While she was here, she taught us how to live fully, how to embrace each day, and really what love looked like. Well, when we adopted her, we had already had 5 children, 3 biological and 2 adopted from the foster care system. Our first 2 adoptions were very lonely. We knew we were called by God to do it, but we didn't know how to do it. And people didn't know how to help, or even that we needed help. So it was very lonely, very isolating. And when we had said we were adopting Clara, so many people just came, funded her adoption, cared for her, helped us. They brought us food. They took our other children on outings, just in ways that we hadn't even thought of. And it was the church literally being the church. My husband and I looked at each other and said, this is the way it is supposed to be. And we decided that no one else should ever do this alone. So that is how Clara's Hope was founded. A couple weeks before she passed away, we started Clara's Hope with the idea of doing something, not knowing what that was. Long story short is we now have a full-time social worker, Erin Deal, on staff, and she helps local foster and adoptive families with just basic needs like understanding what court paperwork is. What do I need to do? How do I fill this paperwork out? What does that even mean? It's a whole new language. So basically what we do is we help foster families and adoptive families have success.
So basically there's still a need for foster care here in Michigan.
Yes.
Because so many people, I think, have that mindset where it must be overseas or somewhere else.
No.
So where do most of your kids then come from? Or, I guess, how are you connected with what organization?
Well, that's a great question. We currently are able to serve Genesee County and Livingston County. We work with all of the foster care agencies in both of those counties. How we work with them is a couple ways. We offer training for all the foster and adoptive families, and we also provide every agency with first night foster care bags. What that is basically when they bring a child that's been removed from their home to your house as a foster family, often they don't come with anything they need or the right items or clean items. So basically we give a backpack that they can just say, oh, it's a 4-year-old girl. And they grab the appropriate age and gender and take that with them, the caseworker does. So the first night the family has underwear, pajamas, toothbrush, a toy, coloring book. And usually what happens is, in our case, the 27 children we've had, the kids are so delighted to have something new. And it's their own. I had a little girl, she was 4, she was so cute. And she would unpack and pack her clothes. And she'd say, Miss Tammy, I have new underwear. So it's a really big deal.
So how long is the process of becoming maybe a foster parent? Because you have to know that you're able to do that. So.
Well, basically, becoming a foster parent takes 6 to 9 months typically. You have to go through some training classes through the state, and you get licensed with an individual agency. We do not do any licensing. We are not an agency. We're basically here to fill in the gap and be the church.
That's awesome. So no one has to really fear okay, well, what if I get a baby in the middle of the night and I don't have a crib or I don't have anything?
Right.
How do you go about that, and how does pulling
Well,
Jennifer in to help
that's
out?
a great question. One thing that we do is try to remove those barriers, and we always, always, always offer our services. So, say a family gets a baby, and we say, "Oh, it's a 18-month-old little girl." We can go to the baby closet at the Hope Center, and we can pull enough clothes to get them through until they figure out what they actually have. We can provide them with diapers we get through the baby closet. And it's really just a beautiful marriage of items. Now, we have our own cribs outside of what the baby closet has because ours have to be foster care approved. It's a little different.
You got to abide by the regulations.
Right, we
and
have to do
rules.
the state
That's
rules
good.
and regulations.
And I heard that you also have support groups to help with your foster families, because being a foster family has got to have some challenges. And you're getting kids that are very challenged at times, and I'm sure you've got to do some kind of tweaking to help the foster parents or even the kids. So how do you deal with that?
Well, one thing is people understanding that they're not alone. So we provide opportunities once a month for families locally to get together, and we'll go to the pool. One of our families has a beautiful pool, so we have a pool party there every summer. In March, we're doing an outdoor campfire with s'mores, and just kind of a fun thing to get together so that, number one, the parents realize they're not alone and that they have support and people that understand. And number two, the kids realize they are not the only child that has been through something like this. And when you realize that you're not the only one and you're not alone, you become empowered instead of victimized.
So typically, how long does a child usually stay with a family, or how does
That is a
work?
great question. The average stay in the United States is, 12 to 18 months, and the average child is 9. But out of 27 children that we have had in our home, not one of them has gone back to their parents. All of their rights have been terminated and either gone to adoption or they have aged out of the system. So that's a very sad statistic.
Well, it sounds like there's definitely a need for more foster
We
parents.
need more right now.
Yeah, that's especially with the upcoming, just so much going on in society, and So who can they contact even about becoming a foster parent? Because you don't do that licensing.
We don't, but we do offer resources. If they go to clarashope.org and they click on foster care or adoption, it will give you a PDF file of questions to ask and how to begin. That's usually what we suggest.
That's awesome. So so let's go on over to the food pantry baby closet, and you got a new name. I'm not familiar with how to say
We do. We are recently a nonprofit organization, and it's called the Fenton Center of Hope. And we're under the umbrella of the Freedom Center. We partner with them, and they blessed us with a beautiful building in front of the church. So we have an office for Clara's Hope with us.
Yay, so you're partnering together.
Absolutely.
Because, you do. You complement each other, especially with families that are in need, and some of your families may need the food pantry as well, possibly. I don't know.
We've
adding
utilized
an
some of
extra
that for our
person.
families.
Yes, yes.
So what else? What happens at the food
Well,
pantry?
the baby closet,
Baby closet.
is in our building right now, and we're building a new food pantry this fall. But hopefully maybe this spring we'll start.
A nice warehouse, right?
Yeah, a big coal barney kind of thing, because we're actually in a different building right now, close to, but not in the same building, so we go back and forth. But for years, another pastor's wife at the church had started a little baby closet, and it was just for moms to come in and be able to get clothes every 3 months. They could get a new wardrobe, and diapers were always limited. We would have these big diaper drives, and now we're blessed. Genesee County is actually one of the only counties in Michigan, I think there's 4, that have diaper banks.
Wow.
So we can purchase diapers for just an incredible price and bless people with diapers for the whole month, the moms that we help.
That's awesome. So definitely the people that are listening, if you want to be a part of that, to even contribute to the diaper portion, to any portion, to Clara's Hope, to the food bank, to the baby closet, they have a link here attached to donate, because gosh, to be able to have unlimited diapers for families
Yes,
that are
diapers
in
and
need.
wipes and
Wow.
baby foods, all by donation. Everything's donated.
Yeah.
Cribs, car seats, all the baby equipment that you could need. We don't always have what a mom needs if we're, out of that thing right now. Car seats are very difficult to keep in stock because the rules and regulations are always changing. And, you use a car seat for a long time for a child now. So
So if you're a manager at a store and you have some extra car seats you're trying to get rid of, this would be a great place to contact. Or if you know of a manager at a store, or you're a business owner, we have a good resource for you to drop that off at.
Absolutely.
But, so tell us more.
All right. So the baby closet, moms can come once a month, and we give them diapers for the month. If they need formula, baby food, we give them those things. We give them large items, like I mentioned, cribs, car seats, bouncy seats, swings, bathtubs. We have an amazing team of volunteers. We have one woman that comes, she's there today working, and she goes through all of the equipment, and she makes sure that it's all safe and current and that we can give it out. And then we have another team of volunteers that come and they just sort through piles and piles of donations of clothes. And they take things home and wash them and they hang them up, and it's so cute. It's like a little boutique. So the moms get to come in and they get to pick what they would like. And we're trying to really just build relationship with people. So when they come on Saturdays, our Saturday blessing day, we call them, we have cinnamon rolls, and we have amazing volunteers that come and they play with the siblings of the children downstairs. And the dads get to sit with our dad volunteers and just have coffee and cinnamon rolls and just visit. We get to talk to them about things that their crisis situations most of these people are in. So we get to pray with them and talk to them and help them find leads for jobs, job training. Now that we have this building, that's been our dream. Not just to give away food and diapers and put a Band-Aid on it, but we really want to help people just change their lives and be able to take care of their families on their own.
It's like making, a fisherman.
Exactly.
I mean, just helping them to learn how to fish themselves so they can provide for themselves.
And discovering, one of these, a very similar story, like how we worked together, was we had a young mom come in recently with a little baby, and she was raised in foster care. And she was adopted twice, just awful situations. She's had a really, really hard life, but she was the best mom. She just had such great natural instincts to this baby. And her boyfriend came with her, and he doesn't have a job, and we've just been able to kind of come alongside with them. But when she came, she was telling me her story of her life, just very matter-of-factly, and I was just blown away. I was just stunned. And when you look at someone that didn't have someone to raise them up and to speak life into them, it just, you see how those cycles happen, how just cycles of generations. So Erin, who was the social worker for Clara's Hope, happened to walk into the building at that time, and I introduced them, and the girl told her story to Erin, and this girl said, she's only 20 years old, and she said, I want to change foster care. I don't want other children to have to live the way I did. And so we've started working with her. She just got a job, and we were able to help her be a reference and write her a letter, and she's got a job at a daycare where she can take her baby with her. We're working with the husband, trying to just get them involved with, not just necessarily, we would love them to go to church, but we don't care where they go to church. We just want them to belong and be surrounded by people who will lift them up, and pointing them towards Christ is going to change their life completely. So it's just fun, since we've been in this building together, just to see all the different ways that we kind of cross paths, and it's fun.
Yeah, you could see how the two organizations will couple and work hand in hand as the community.
Just this morning we had a volunteer, and a mom came to pick up some clothes and diapers for her little boys, and she said, I remember last year, she said, I visited your church last year, and you guys were packing these backpacks for the foster care. And I said, I think I just saw something about that, like in I got an email or something. And so I texted Tammy, I said, can this gal help? She wants to come help do that. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then
the help we can get.
The food pantry, like I said, is next door, but we'll be on the same property. We're building something soon. But we did not want to be a place where we just handed someone a bag of food, and said, here's your number, just take your bag of food. We want people to have dignity, and we want them to come in, and so we created like a little grocery store, and they come in, there's little carts, and they walk around, and they get to pick the food that they like, that their family likes. And again, we just we work off donations, so we don't always have everything that I would like to stock, like a real grocery store. But we do have frozen meats now and things like that. But we've always had this dream of having classes to try to teach people. And we have a woman that just this week came forward and said she has a whole agenda of 6 classes. And just, you know, it's a really, just a very well-respected woman, you know that her husband's a businessman. And I never would have imagined the story that she said, that, you know, when she was young and married, first married, had little kids, her husband didn't have a job. And there was some weeks when she had $10. And she wanted to feed her kids nutritiously, and she had to learn how to do that. And so I asked her if she would come in and help me try to figure out some things that we can have in the pantry to put together meals or little recipe cards, just little ideas I had. Well, an hour later, she came to me with this whole agenda of, you know, we could have these classes and just teaching basic skills and how to make healthy things for your kids and how to really stretch something, and taking a whole chicken, which we will have whole chickens in the freezer, how you use it 3 times, and things like that. And when we have done these experimented a little bit with little classes, and they just women just love being together, and just the fellowship and just talking with each other, and it's really, really fun.
So it sounds like you're teaching more life skills as well as just providing for them and just saying, here's your food and goodbye. It's
we want to give them hope
embracing.
and a future and support.
That's right.
And when someone has a job interview, we have before taken someone to buy, you know, we had a guy that had a job, he said I was offered the job, but they wouldn't let me accept it because I didn't have the right boots. He had to have like steel toe boots. So we took him and got him steel toe boots. But that's the things we want to do. Is really give people the tools to take care of their families, to move forward in life.
Well, you're definitely making a difference. And if you're hearing it too, and you're just getting pulled on your heart about, you know, trying to help out, again, we have the links listed here to go ahead and make that donation. And it is tax.
Oh, absolutely. It's tax deductible.
Tax deductible, so yay. And also, if you work at a grocery store or you work at a place that they connect them with more food or more products to help them out, please spread the word and let them know, because this is here in our community, in the state of Michigan. You know, we're not having to just be overseas, you know, where people need food. It's here locally. And so then you serve what area do you serve?
We serve primarily Fenton, Linden, and Holly, but we do have, we make exceptions, and we go into like the south side of Flint, but we partner with other organizations, and we work very closely with Riverside, with the storehouse.
Okay.
And we try to point people in directions of places that are closer to where they live.
That's awesome.
But we try. And we also are looking for businesses or groups, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, school groups, any kind of group that would be willing to host a food drive. That's a new concept we're going to be doing this fall. We do have a truck, and we take it to different grocery stores, and we work with a couple different grocery stores, and we'll have food drives and have all of our volunteers work at them. But we were thinking that maybe we could have other organizations that are always saying, what can we do to help? That's something you can do to help. Or if you have a life group, or if you have a little church or a bunch of friends, that's an amazing thing to do with your kids. And we'll bring the truck, we'll set it all up, we'll be there to kind of guide and show you how to do it, but just friendly faces to hand things out and accept the food donations. And that's a really, my kids love it. It's like a really good, it's a fun thing that we've done. And we definitely need partners in the community to do that with us.
Okay, so in about 3 minutes each, let's hear your dreams of what you want for your organization and where you want God to take it, and what are your big dreams?
I'll go. So, all right, my dream is to see the church rise up as the church and radically change the foster care system as we know it. That the statistic of if one person from every church would rise up and adopt a waiting child, there would be no more waiting children. If that would come to reality, I want to equip people to be able to do this successfully. And really generational change. We're ready to break those cycles. It's not fair to a child for them to be in a situation that is nothing that they've done, that they have the heaps of generational cycles upon them. And they can't do it on their own. They need help. So we bring the hope of Christ. And the fun part is we get invited into government agencies. They like what we do, and they want more of it.
Amen. So will they help out financially with some breaks or anything?
Unfortunately, no. We
No,
don't
not
get
yet?
any
Well, we'll pray
financial
for that
help.
to happen.
But what we do get is we get invited in opportunities and platforms, and we just see. I would love to see every church within a 30-mile radius have some sort of foster or adoptive care.
Well, it is a mandate from the Lord
It
to
is.
take care of the orphans and the widows, and
It is.
it is a mandate, and so it's great to see that you're partaking and that you're spearheading this. I mean, God has definitely given you the grace to love on these children, and
Yes.
I'm sure some of them, are challenged, and and I pray that they come out from any drug addicted areas, and they also need your prayers as well as your financial support.
Please.
Pray for them. Pray for the leaders to come forth. Pray for the foster parents to be stirred in their heart to do that. Some people are just naturally gifted to have kids, and they just got that love and compassion for children, and to not fear about what God is calling you to do.
Exactly.
When God is calling you, you rest in Him and knowing that, you may not understand how it's all going to work out, but there are provisions, there's ways, and you are a provision, you are a way, both of you, and what you have, God has stirred on you to spearhead and lead and saying, we're going to help the community, and I'm going to help organize this, and God making it all come together. Fear not. God is a good God, and He's not going to leave you out in the desert. He's going to give you the support team.
Yep.
And then, too, if you are at a church or at an organization where you are feeling that spur to be like Tammy and to be like Jennifer and her husband, to just be like, we got this dream, we got this vision of helping people, maybe they can give you some inside tips of how to go about it or who to get connected with so that you can reach and affect your community. I know this is airing, all over the state of Michigan and on YouTube, so it's not just for here in Michigan. They are here, to hopefully be that resource to help get you connected with people around you too.
Absolutely.
So what are your big dreams and visions that yourself and your husband have? And
Well, much like Tammy said, to see the church rise up and be the church. And that's something that our pastor has been in full agreement with us since the very beginning, 7 years ago. We don't want the government to have to feed people. We don't want people to have to depend on the government. We want the people to help the people. And so that's what we're doing. And we want to help other churches start food pantries and start baby closets in their communities, like you mentioned. But we just want to break these cycles and these chains that people are just in bondage to, that they cannot provide for their families. And we want to help men be the leaders of their families. We want to help moms that don't have men, be everything they need. We have started, a year ago, we started having life groups. And they were very, very general, very just kind of simple, just try to bring people together. And they grew into Bible studies. And now we do Bible studies and book studies every week. People who still, for different reasons, don't feel comfortable going to church, but they will come every week to Bible study.
that's awesome.
So we just want to change lives by providing for very basic needs and just showing the love of Christ however we can.
So do you see a big building someday? And
I do. And we used to dream about a bigger building and bigger building. We used to walk around buildings and pray for buildings in the town of Fenton. And then this building that we have was it's like a little house, but it literally has everything that we ever needed. But we were just talking the other day, my husband and I, that we're starting to see a vision of going out more than inward.
Yes.
So we do see like helping other people in other states. There was a place in Missouri, we were dropping our son off to college 7 years ago, and we walked in and we said, this is it. This is everything that we had dreamed of. And so they're in Springfield, Missouri, and they've helped us. And so we want to see this across the nation, just people helping people and lives being changed.
that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, it's just so awesome. We actually have a few more minutes
good.
left, so if you guys take the platform, talk a little bit more, and because it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see how people's lives can be changed best by God spurring you on, saying, I got to do something. I got to know why I'm here, what I'm doing, and just to just find that groove. I mean, to reach the children especially, that's huge. Feeding people, that's huge. Your neighbor next door could be having challenges too.
Right. Well, I think the big thing is making sure that what you're doing is relying upon the Lord. If you're doing it in your own strength, it's of no value. And just literally at our staff meetings, we're like, God, if this isn't of you, tell us to stop. But it's a clear command, as you said, from the Lord to take care of the orphan and the widow. And right now in America, we have so many children in foster care. Right now in Michigan, 13 to 15,000 kids are in foster care. You know, there's 3,000 to 5,000 children waiting for a family, waiting to be adopted. We have to change that. And we have to equip people to be ready for the effects of the hard life these children have had, because love is not enough.
I'm sure it benefits your own children too that have been in your own family.
Yeah, my kids are all Claire's Hope all the time. They love it. And but it benefits us because we have a lot of healing to go. I have some kids with hard pasts that they still have a lot of healing. And this is a process that we are in the process of doing. So as we go, we lead.
Amen. Amen. Well, that is so awesome. I'm so thankful that you two have come on, you've shared your story, and for you guys, if you are interested in donating, they're always open for donations, I'm sure. They have lots of needs, lots of expenses, and they want to expand their dreams and visions that they have to reaching the community. And you could be a part of that today. You can be a part of that by clicking on the links and going ahead and donating to Clara's Hope or donating to the Hope Center so that they can just reach out more to the community. Maybe you don't feel like you want to be that foster parent, or you don't have time to drop stuff off because you don't live in the Fenton area. But you can definitely make a difference today, and they need the help. And it is, a tax deduction, and they give you the tax receipt, so fear not. And just know in your heart that God is just pleased when you give that cup of water to that little child. It is making the difference with God, and God needs that. He needs us to show that love and community with each other. And I give God praise and thanks for this time to come together. And that'll do it for this episode. And I am Tina Jackson.
I'm Jennifer Strigolak.
I'm Tammy Cromer.
And you are a beautiful creation in Christ Jesus.